Let me see. The guide missed the water element level requirement. That's why you can't progress. Normally, yes, but luckily, I can teach you my super secret technique to beat the dungeon. First, blow a bubble with water, then step on it. Now jump on the lamppost, here, and then aim for the wall to clip through it. Pretty cool, huh? Way better than any guide you'll find on the internet, right? I've got a knack for anything game-related. When I was a kid, I wasn't very smart when I was a kid, because hello? Nothing. Just surprised. That phone call was from my old landlord, from when I was living in France as a child. He said the old apartment will be torn down and told me that I should stop paying him rent. Of course not. Since I left France, I haven't been back there ever. Miss Chips? I need to go back to that apartment. I want you to come with me. I think I know who's been paying for my rent. Key. No, the last key. My master. I had a hunch it was him, but I just didn't expect him to set up an account for scheduled rent payments. Everything he does has a reason, which is why I believe there's probably something he wants me to come and find out. If you put it that way, it really isn't that significant. It's just some place my master and I lived after we left Loveland City. Those were the years when my master had to travel around the world, and I was swamped with practice and performances. I never really spent a lot of time there, which makes things even more peculiar. You're right, it's a crime to waste a good break. As punishment, I'm gonna spend every moment relaxing with you from now on. If I remember correctly, we have to turn left at the maple tree. There it is! You see that pointy red roof, Miss Chips? That's the place. Let's go. It's just as I remembered. Not exactly. The vines were a bit shorter back then, only reaching about 3 stories tall. I remember an old grandma who'd sit beside her window every afternoon. I always saw her when I got back from school. Her memory was a bit iffy. She'd called me by all sorts of names: Kilo, Kiro, and once even Antonio. Fifth, wanna take a look? This place used to be packed with kids playing together. I never played with them. I just preferred to paint instead. Over there, that's where I used to sit. I'd make my way upstairs whenever the aroma of dinner drifted into my nose. Some Italian guy, who was really named Antonio, lived on the second floor. Oh, he baked a killer pizza back then. Every time his oven dinged, it'd fill the entire building with this irresistible aroma. The old lady's neighbor was a violinist. He was a little down on his luck. There were just way too many people in France who knew how to play the violin. Well, I had a lot of trouble playing the Moonlight Sonata and was butchering it every day back then. He'd get so mad and start banging on my door. I guess that also counts as talk? But during my first violin performance, I saw him sitting in the corner of the audience. remember this place. This place was my secret lookout. Yep, I was young back then. I'd climb a few floors and would need to rest. This is where I often took a break. I still remember how tall these railings felt back then. Now they only stop at my waist. This is where I would secretly observe those below, playing, fighting, or just drying their clothes. Then I'd get the feeling that my master was right. I wasn't as far away from this world as I had imagined. I'd suddenly feel encouraged to approach them. Whenever I got bored and there was no one around, I'd scribble on the wall. Just simple codes. I had already begun to learn how to code from my master back then. It was a lot to take in, so I scribbled them around to help me remember. I heard it. I think the sound came from... I think it came from my old apartment. Who's there? Mind telling me what you're doing in this pile of rubble, Mr. Hacker? How could you know Key used to live here? I used to live here when I was young. I was in the neighborhood with my girlfriend. I thought I'd show her around. No, nothing. I just want to remind you that this building is going to be demolished soon. You probably can't be here for much longer. In that case, let's find that riddle, Miss Chips. I think we can ignore that. Don't worry, I don't have any demons to overcome. That being said, if you really want to see a work of art, come to my bedroom. That's where my magnum opus is. Pretty awesome, right? This took me a really long time. But now that I'm seeing it again, I don't think my drawing skills have improved much over the years. What's this? I think I see the riddle my master left me. .234. I see. That's what you wanted to tell me all these years? Is this the treasure you've been holding on to for so long? It's not a riddle. It's just something only I would understand. No matter who tries to crack it. Where my pride was born.